Horse well put together, Kentucky eligible.
And we are live on a beautiful Wednesday morning here in Lexington, Kentucky at Fasig-Tipton for the 2023 Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. Our coverage here at thestable.ca rolls on as we now come into day number 3 and day number 2, just like day 1, active and busy for the stable. Mark McKelvey here, joined alongside by Anthony McDonald. And Anthony, another busy morning. You guys have been roaming the grounds, but before we can worry about today, we have to go back and look at yesterday.
Yep.
We're going to go horse by horse of the new purchases, but first things first, how did you think day 2 went?
Day 2 was good, long. It was really, really long.
7 hours for the session, I believe it was.
Oh, wow. It felt like 7 days. I know, I told Jared here that was down and everybody that comes down, this is why I thought it was important that we price our horses and just sit by the ring and wait, because you never know what's going to happen. The first horse we bought yesterday actually was one that I actually didn't look at, but I had trusted, Steve, who looks at a number of horses also. It was a bit of a collaboration. I liked everything leading up to the sale about the horse, but admittedly so, I did not get back and look at the horse itself, where Steve had looked at the horse, and the reason that was urgent was the horse was in the ring and going for a lot less than he thought it was going to bring. And although I did not price that horse, I agreed with him quite quickly, and then afterwards, after we looked at the horse, agreed again. Good looking horse, really well put together, and probably for what we're trying to do, probably worth a little bit more than what we got him for. It only took one bid, much like it did the night before.
Yep.
With the big horse. So it's always neat for that to happen, and we were happy to get him. So yeah, it's a long night. You just have, rather than going there hoping you can get your horse and being let down time after time after time, you're better to look at all the horses you want, or all the horses that might interest you, and that's how we ended up with a number of the ones we got so far.
Well, Anthony, I said we're going to go horse by horse, but in a moment, I want to first touch on one thing, and that is I've had people asking me, how many horses did the stable get yesterday? And there might be a little bit of confusion. I know you've told the story about 6 times, and I'm sure Amy would love to hear it one more time. But towards the end of the sale, a couple of chimpanzees, if you're looking on the results page, say thestable.ca. What is the story here?
We didn't buy 359, so what had happened was a number of our clients were standing there, and Scotty and Ricky and Amy, everybody was standing there, and we were going to bid on the horse. It was out of a full sister to Plunge Blue Chip being a sister, not only a world champion, but a sister to the horse that we had a couple of years ago in 3-point Blue Chip, so it was interesting. The chimpanzees, we were very aware the sale average was around 260,000, I believe. Has that gone up or down?
I could take a look right now and tell you in a second. Yeah.
We knew what the sale average was for chimpanzee, and when she went in the ring, I had looked at her.
198 the average right now.
Oh, there you go. So it went
2
down
days.
a little bit.
Yep.
Yep. So the average was a little over $200,000. We were aware of that through day number 1 and heading into day number 2. This particular filly looked exactly like we were looking for. At this point, we had not really filled what us at the stable were billing that premium bucket, that one top horse we were looking for. So the bidding had started. I got in towards the end. We were in at 160, maybe 165, and somebody else had come over the top. And I had almost said that was enough. We were reaching our boiling point on the filly, and I turned to one of my partners that was going to end up owning a big chunk of the horse anyway, and he said, well, maybe one more, which I don't generally stretch, but at this particular moment, I thought that might be okay. I made one more bid at $175,000, and the bid went to 180. So I just turned around, and I was looking through the catalog for the rest of the horses coming up. The hammer dropped at 180. They come over to me with the ticket. I was going to contest it, and then I said, well, okay, fine. When you're at the sale, for those of you who are at Kentucky, you know what the people are like here, the bid spotters. Yeah. They're a little criminal sometimes. So
pull some fast ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I said, I looked at the guy, and he looked at you. You bought the horse. I said, you got ahead of me there. I turned to the client in question. He said, it's okay. I think
the filly.
If she's worth 175, she's probably worth 180 at that point. So I'd signed the ticket, and she left. 10 minutes later, a gentleman come by from the sale and said, listen, a little embarrassed to say, 2 people signed for this horse. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you and another person had signed for the horse. And I said, I got to be honest. I thought I was out at 175. I didn't believe. In fact, I know I didn't bid 180, but I thought, Lexington being Lexington, maybe you got ahead of me for the bid. And he laughed, and then that was it. The ticket was gone, and we did not end up with number 359 out of the full sister to Plunge Blue Chip. Another filly was coming in the ring that I actually, truthfully, had marked maybe just a hair more, as far as what I thought she was worth, a hair more, and that was 375. Now that was an April 12th filly out by Jim Pensy, the same, out of Explosive Matter mare. Now that mare had thrown. I'm going to be forced to say this name again. I'm sure I'm going to butcher it. Why don't you try it?
We're saying the name of this?
No, the name.
Oh, the name of the mare.
Is it the first foal, Kimerigian?
That's a good guess. I wouldn't have done any better. So.
Okay, there you go. Kimerigian. It says here the winner of the matron. Trotted in 52 and 3, a mark of 54 is a 2-year-old, which is important. Everybody, we do want to race our 2-year-olds, so it's important when you see siblings that are also taking good lifetime marks at 2. Lots of wins, lots of money on this horse. Then you look down to the second dam, you have Rebuff, right? Rebuff, 49 and 4, one of the best horses on the planet at that time.
Yep.
My brother actually injected a little bit of knowledge as to non-stick. Said that he believed that filly went unbeaten at 2 and was a monster and ended up injuring herself at 3. And then again, Rum Boogie and Margarita Man in the 3rd. This filly walked in the ring. I would say she was maybe a hair smaller than the one that we almost bought. But I thought it was put together as good or better than her also. So as the bidding began again, we had a barometer of where we were kind of going to go, and we got to 150 and ended up with the filly. So that would be and is going to be that premium bucket horse for the stable for 2023 at Lexington. Really, really happy. We took a bunch of pictures of her at Kentuckiana this morning. And as I said, just really happy to have her in our barn now.
So 359, not purchased by the stable. It still says it on the results page there. I'm sure
that will forever.
It probably will forever. They're never going to go back and change.
You know what's going
that,
to happen now, don't you?
Well, this horse
is going to be a world champion, and everybody's going to say, "Whatever happened to that horse that you bought the full sister to Plunge Blue Chip?" It's a kiss of death. I guarantee you. Whoever bought that filly, I guarantee you just bought a world champion.
They are flying under the radar right now. Let's go back, though, and go through the 3 horses that you did purchase. I know we touched there on 375, but we're going to go back to 171. Curtis has that video queued up for us. 171, Westland Warrior, a Father Patrick colt, dual eligible, Pennsylvania and Kentucky. And this family here, Westland Legacy, is the dam. She has produced several winners, including the world champion Westland Quest. So a very proven family here. And Westland Warrior, as mentioned, always that nice coveted dual eligible, Pennsylvania and Kentucky, and a Father Patrick.
Yeah, Westland Quest, not only a world champion, but I mean, I was there that night. She won in 15-4 at Northfield. It was an amazing mile. And this wasn't just a filly that bounced up. These were the best mares around at the time that were offered in that race. These were open mares, like Grand Circuit mares. And to be able to purchase a full brother to a world champion that showed that kind of talent was pretty amazing. And as I said in the outset, I actually didn't look at this horse. This was Steve and I. Steve had looked at the horse, and as he's in the ring, we're standing there at the ring, and he said, "Did you look at this horse?" And I looked at him, and I said, "No." I looked, so as I said before, I have the kind of different colors. The orange is for pre-sale. So looking at the pedigree page, looking at the video, I said, "No, I did not personally look at this horse in flesh, but I did love the video, and I thought it was a good-looking horse." I said, "Did you look at it?" Now, the bidding is going at the time.
Right.
It's starting to stall. And he said, "Yes, I saw the horse with my own 2 eyes, and I really, really like this colt." So I really, really like this colt. So when it came to him, I said, "You own 2 eyes?" "Yes." And I trust Steve's opinion. He looks at enough horses, too. Very, very happy with what I saw from Westland Warrior when I went back to look at him. So he stalled at 40. We made one bid again at 42, and we ended up with the colt. Really, really good-looking colt, and very happy that Steve spoke up when he did.
So that was 171. The next purchase would be 235, and that would be a little later in the afternoon. 235, a Walner colt. Yves St. Kemp is the name here, 24,000.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where I really can't explain it. We were sitting at the ring. I had looked at the horse. I liked the horse very much so. And again, first foal from a Donato Hanover mare. And that mare is a is a half sister to Wild Honey, world champion, market 50 and 4, $1.6 million made. This horse was correct, looked good. Everything looked really good with this horse. And it gives you pause. Like, even I tell everybody, you know, you have to mark your catalog and be consistent. Know that what you wrote down is a fair depiction of what the horse looks like. You have to be accurate. And the notes that I had on the horse was a really good looking horse. I was really happy with the way he looked. I couldn't, nor could anybody, I think, in the ring kind of understand why the horse had stalled out the way he did. But it happens, and as I said to Jared and everybody, there's so many horses selling, you just mark the horses, sit by the ring, you will get a horse that you want, but you have to be patient. And yesterday's sale, you know, you look at 171, if it wasn't for Steve, we wouldn't have bought a horse all the way up to 235 yesterday. So 171, and then again, 50, 60 hips later, 235, and then again, 375 was the next one. You just, as I said, if you're patient, take your time, you'll get a horse.
You had a long enough day. You could have squeezed in a nap if you were a little tired yesterday afternoon.
I mean,
it was
very
a
tired.
long day. That was 235. So then we go to 375. We were already touching on this one a little bit here, but a chimpanzee. I have to say, just being around the facility here, a lot of marketing being done for chimpanzee, and I don't think you could look anywhere without seeing those T-shirts yesterday.
Yeah.
But again, you've always mentioned how you like to go after those first crops, but chimpanzee was going to be coveted here this week, and nice to bring one in.
It's so interesting, you know. I felt kind of stupid because I felt like the only person that didn't know about the incentive program that was being offered and how it was being offered in such a reverse model, actually. Yeah. This is the only place where they are giving the incentives back to the owners. And what the breeders decided in Kentucky was, we are going to offer that incentive to the owners because we believe we're going to get paid off at the sale, and I believe that's worked very, very well in their favor. Now, the way that incentive works is any of these horses that race in the Kentucky Sires or Kentucky Stake races next year, they get an additional 50% on any purse winning. So theoretically, if you're racing, if that chimpanzee, if Melisandre races in that 400,000 distinction next year, she's actually racing for 600.
Isn't that something?
It's unbelievable, and that you have to not fall into that trap either, right?
No.
You have to know that when I marked Melisandre, I have to take a deep breath and say, am I giving any undue credence to the fact that you're going to be racing for more money? Because the other side of that coin, obviously, is 50% of zero is still zero, I believe. So it doesn't matter. You still have to go. You have to buy a quality horse that has to be worth the money. Now, again, my take on Melisandre was simple. This is a filly with the family of Rebuff, Rumboogie, and then if you're looking from a broodmare standpoint, if she was the first dam, the second dam would have Kim Meridian in it with a $235,000 winner. The third dam would have Rebuff and Non-Stick in it. So again, that horse is going to carry a considerable amount of residual value, and I just don't see, with the mares that chimpanzee got, I don't see him being a flop.
Shouldn't be.
No. So I think we were in a good position when we purchased this horse. And again, it's really hard to talk when you're talking about such a large amount of money.
Yep.
But the overall math of Melisandre made quite a bit of sense to me, chimpanzee or otherwise.
So that was a look at the 3 horses that were purchased yesterday. Lots coming up here today. It's another long day. I'm not sure it'll be quite as long as yesterday. I think we're selling a few less today than yesterday, but it will be a long afternoon. And we've got some videos already set up to take a look at some of the horses that are selling here this afternoon.
Ready. So, geez, I don't know. I think this is still day 2. Tuck Tuck. A great name. Tuck Tuck is number 387. This is a New Jersey and Kentucky colt, April 18th. This is a brother to Handover Bell, $564,000 winner. Took a 2-year-old mark of 56, a 3-year-old mark of 52, and after that 51 and 1. Really nice horse. I'll be honest, the pedigree after that particular mare kind of slows down a little bit, but again, we're looking at this horse also. And when it comes to Tuck Tuck, really nice video on this guy. I like the way he moves, long legs, got that tactical landing, big, long, and tall body. Just a beautiful looking colt here. So Tuck Tuck, way at the, I think it is day number 2. I'm not positive though. I probably should know that. Either way, at the end of day number 2 or at the start of day number 3, Tuck Tuck will be a horse we'll be watching. Not a horse that I have a real high figure on, but a horse that will fit nicely in our barn. I like the way he's built, I like the way he looks, and of course his pedigree. I know I'll give you the old saying that I always look at. Well, if you took Handover Bell out, there wouldn't be a lot there, but you can't do that. Handover Bell is there, and as I said a minute ago, we're looking at 387. Not Handover Bell or any of the other horses in the pedigree. So a nice horse, fits what we're looking for, fits our mold, so to speak. So we'll see if we can bring Tuck Tuck home to the stable with us. Can you just walk him down a little bit?
57.
Fiery little bugger too. Hey, bud. That's great, thank you. So number 410, we're here at Concord. Number 410 is New Jersey only filly by Tactical Landing out of Jezzy's Legacy. Herself made $165,000, marker 154. But Jezzy, the second dam, made $834,000. Very, very nice filly and a very nice family. She's not a giant filly. I'm not going to say she's small. She'd be a medium-sized filly. Got a sharp head on her. I really like this filly. This was the one I came to the Concord consignment to look at. Certainly not disappointed. I like her demeanor. I like her attitude. I like the way she's built. Can you walk her down for me, sir? Can you walk her down for me, sir? Thank you. So number 410, Flight Stewardess. Good looking filly here. Thank you very much. So this is number 414, Cowboy Casanova. This horse Amy actually liked and picked out. Man, she did a good job too. This is a good looking colt. I know when I looked at the pedigree, I said propulsion. I don't know how they're going to sell. I suspect they're going to sell pretty strong, but no one knows for sure. This mother, this is the first colt out of this mare. It looks like she had a Tactical Landing filly last year. So this is the first colt from the mare Hannah Dream Girl. A $213,000 winner, trotted in 53 and 2 in her life. So pretty good filly. Second dam's a little soft, and third dam is Ancient, Ship's Dream, Buttafuoco, Ship's Pinnacle, Ship's Winner. They're all old horses, but at the same token, they're just indicators of what we're looking at. I mean, when I look at 414, here's a very well-bred, dual-eligible colt. March 1st, dual-eligible colt with a nice video. I like this colt. He looks nice. He does everything right, everything we need him to do. And one of those horses where you don't know, right? We are going to have some high-end horses that we buy, and we're going to have other horses that are going to make up the puzzle of the stable Lexington this year. And this could easily be one of those horses. So I like number 414. I think he's a nice colt. I think he'll do what we need him to do if we happen to buy him. So number 414, Cowboy Casanova here at Crawford Farms. What's that, honey? Yeah, they do look small. Why is my internet not working? Oh, here it is. So this is number 438, Day 3 Propulsion Colt. This is a good looking horse, Kentucky, New Jersey eligible. I liked a lot of the propulsions we saw. In fact, I don't think I discounted any of them or just wiped them off. I think I had a real good look at all of them, and I really like this horse. He has a brother named Sir Fred Jones, a green shoe that raced against, must have raced against Memory and Imagination this summer. I know the name, and I know we raced against him. This horse here, again, one of those pedigrees that is strong. I don't know a lot of them, but there's a lot of money and a lot of speed in this pedigree. I just don't know a lot of the horses. They're not brand name world champion types. But again, all seem to make money, all seem to have speed. And this is a good looking colt. I liked his video a lot. And I really thought he was a good looking individual also as we came here and saw them. I like how they're put together, their propulsions. They all look, yeah, he's a little more streamlined, not as coarse as the other ones were. And I just thought he was a really good looking individual. Here's a horse buried in the middle of Day 3. Good looking horse, decent pedigree, first crop sire. This horse has stable written all over it, so we'll see we'll see if we pick up a horse like Channing or Channing himself. But number 438, the February 22nd Sun and Propulsion, good looking horse here in Channing. Can you walk him down for me, sir? Yep. What's that?
All over his feet are really trimmed.
Yep. Yeah, I really like this guy. So this is day 3, Majuri, number 450. Now, a lot of updates on this horse, obviously, and unless you're living under a rock, you probably know who Carl is. This would be out of a sister to the mother of Carl. So, no, yes. Out of a sister to the mother of Carl, yes. So a Bay filly, March 2nd, Pennsylvania and Kentucky eligible by Father Patrick. A big filly. Good looking filly though, well put together. And you see Ava Catherine is the first one. This a Muscle Hill mare that, you know, her biggest claim to fame is she's a sister to Ava Licious. Now Ava Licious is the mother of Carl. Now Carl's not even on the catalog because when they made the catalog he only had about 10,000 made. He's since winning 51 and I think he's up over $300,000 or $400,000 now and undefeated in his 2-year-old career here in Lexington. So one of the biggest updates in the entire catalog will be that Carl, anything to do with Carl, and Majuri definitely has lots to do with Carl. So a lot of interest will be found, especially as this is a filly. A lot of interest will be found here in number 450, a day 3 horse. Not a giant, not a big filly, but she's going to take a lot of eyeballs and probably plenty of support as we head into that part of the sale. There's a number of horses selling on day 3 that look very well, and this is just another one of them. Majuri is a horse that definitely worth looking at as we head into the middle portion of the Lexington sale here in Kentucky. Can you walk her down for me, sir? She's okay, yeah.
Like,
She can bring a lot of money.
you think so?
Yeah.
Well, even so, I know. So that's
Carl
her
is missing.
brother?
Yeah, Carl is missing from the second lamb. Yeah. What's that? Oh. 4:58. It's getting late in the day here. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday. Sale starts tonight. This will be our last horse to look at back here at the barns today. Number 458, Rose Run Atlanta. I loved the video of this horse. I wanted to come see her. She is Pennsylvania and Kentucky eligible. Out of a Lucky Chucky mare. We've had a lot of luck buying lucky horses out of Lucky Chucky mares. And then the second dam is at Mambo Lindy, Bacardi Lindy. Down on the third dam, Margarita Man. Just really, really good family top to bottom. But again, I say this all for the last 2 days. We're not racing the families. We're not racing the pages or the videos. We're racing the horse. This horse got a real cool demeanor, quiet. You know, these horses have been drug all over the place the last 2 days, and this horse is pretty chill. Pretty nice looking horse. In international money, February 12th, full. I really, really like this horse too. I like everything about this horse. There's no faults, right? I like the mare. I like the entire pedigree page, and I like the horse even more than all of them. It's a really nice looking horse. 458 Rose Run Atlanta, selling on day number 3 here in Lexington, Kentucky.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm away for the rest of this week, and then Monday's Thanksgiving. So
Come on, big guy. Girl.
early afternoon.
Come on, girl. Go on. Good girl. That's a good looking animal right there.
I will so.
Internet.
1 o'clock.
No, I've seen 3 that I actually liked.
There's a ton at Harrisburg.
Yep. It'd be tough to find a better looking one than that one.
Not in these shoes right here. Those are the ones I wore yesterday.
Girl.
Girl. Good girl.
Girl.
Huge difference.
they're good.
That's a nice filly right there.
So I went and said, give me 2 more pairs.
Always love those great drone shots over Fasig-Tipton as it's another gorgeous day here. Very warm. I think we got up over 30 degrees Celsius yesterday. Probably going to be pushing that again here this afternoon. And it's been a hot sale. There's no doubt about that. The average after night one was around 188. Haven't looked to see what it's after 2 sessions, but yesterday, day number 2 is actually a record-setting session for a second day of this Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. Welcome back to the desk. My name is Mark McKelvey and another member of our broadcast team. We didn't really get to catch up with her yesterday, but she's been very busy this morning. Let's go check in with Jamie McDonald as she is standing by with a special guest, Bob Brady from Kentuckiana Farms.
Here with Bob Brady of Kentuckiana, and this is a family farm. So tell us kind of how you've grown up with it and what it
Well,
means to your family.
My wife's parents started Kentuckiana in 1975, and then after several years, we bought them out as a group of the next generation. So it's now owned by myself, my wife, her sister, and my brother-in-law, Ken Jackson.
And how is it working with your family?
It works great. It works really well. Everybody pitches in and helps, and now we have another generation on board as our son Ryan is now the farm manager. And our youngest daughter, Hannah, wants to be in the farm full-time, and she's still part-time. So we're very happy to see that the next generation come on board.
It's amazing, and everyone works together and pitches in, and something you guys kind of put your whole lives into is continuing in that next generation.
Yes, we're 1,000% involved in every day.
So tell us about kind of how your year looks like from, mares, weanlings,
Yes.
and going
For
from there.
us, like most of the guys like in this job, we start the end of January foaling, and that lasts till the first week of June. Last year we foaled 157 mares, and in between that we baled probably 20,000 bales of hay. So we have a lot going on, and as soon as we get to the sale, which is a grind from August 1st till now, we had 120 yearlings this year. And we're going to take 100 back to the farm for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever till after Harrisburg for people. We'll have 75 turnouts, and then we have to fall preg check, worm, vaccinate, trim feet, wean, sort the farm by due date. So we really kind of a dead run from January till November.
And then the busyness of Christmas and back in it.
And we start foaling again the end of January.
Yeah.
So
So once we get to the sale and you've got everything set up, obviously, it's a lot that goes on this week. Let's do a recap of day one yesterday. Anthony and Amy bought a couple of horses here, which we looked at their purchases, and they're absolutely beautiful. How kind of your expectations were they? Were you happy with them?
Yes, they were very, very nice colts. He bought a Captain colt, which was exceptional. One of the nicest Captain colts that we've ever raised. Absolutely stunningly beautiful, gorgeous colt. So we wish him the best in that. And he bought a nice Chapter 7 colt that's got a brother racing very well. So we have, high expectations for him as well.
And the I guess relatives that are racing, and you guys have the yearlings in the sales. Do you keep an eye on them? And kind of how the family members are racing, does that impact the pricing?
Absolutely. And now with our phones, we can watch racing all the time. Basically, in the old days, I would never leave the house on weekends. Basically, my wife was tired of me cooking and barbecuing because I wanted to stay close to RTN.
Yeah.
So now we can go out to dinner and do something. But I very closely follow who's racing and how they're doing and what we have coming up that's going to help them sail. And there's nothing like winning at the Red Mile right before the sale. That's the best.
Well, congratulations on your sales yesterday, and good luck for the rest of the week.
Great. Thank you very much. How was that?
All right, the cat might be out of the bag here. We might have done that interview yesterday, but hey, we had an abbreviated show yesterday, so we got lots to cram in here today. And as we roll right along, let's take a look at some more yearlings that'll be selling here this afternoon.
This is 479. Very interesting horse right here. 479 Tactical Dynasty. Now I get the update on the foal. This is second foal from a Father Patrick mare. Now the first foal apparently was training down great. They had offered some money for it. It got injured in the stall, and now it's a broodmare rather than a racehorse. So you always get I always find the backstories of some of these horses very, very interesting. Now, I hadn't really, this horse was not on my radar. After I'd heard the story and looked at the pedigree again, and then went and looked at the video. What a beautiful video of this horse. Really, really nice looking colt. The second dam is a dam of 7 carats. That horse was exported internationally. Third dam, again, that bottom foundation, Cricket Hall, Combrio Hall, these are all very, very good horses. Very strong pedigree. But I'll tell you what really drew me to this horse was the story, and then subsequently the video after this horse. Very good looking horse, put together really well, sharp body on him. You know, just a really, really good looking animal. And then when you factor in the story of the horse from last year, it even makes it more interesting. So although I wasn't drawn to this horse right away, number 479 Tactical Dynasty, I am now. It's a good looking horse. But do yourself a favor, go back and watch the yearling video of 479. Really, really good looking colt here in Tactical Dynasty, selling on day 2, 3, maybe? Day 3, must be early part of day 3 at a Spring Haven. Can you just walk him down, please? I do like him. Yeah. Yeah, I like him a lot. I'll take him. Thank you very much. Is that our last one, or do we have any more? Pennsylvania, March 25th. So we're here at View Car Farms, and this is Soul Brother. Now, there's a lot of ways that we can hopefully get into some of the horses we want to, right? Because the more things you have going on, whether it be the pedigree, the conformation, or dual eligibility, there's a number of things that drive up the prices of the horse, right? Here you have number 498. He's single eligibility, just Pennsylvania. March 25th colt, nice looking colt, and a very strong family. Sassa Hanover's in the second dam. Third dam is Shady Shark Hanover and Shark Osborne. This is a very, very good family, but when you look at the end of day number 3, or I guess, I don't know if it's the end of day number 3, it's in day number 3. This is the type of horse that may slide through. Shouldn't. First crop again. But how's Poppy Rob Hanover going to be received? I think very strongly, if I was to guess. So you have single eligibility, first crop sire. He's not a giant, but neither was Poppy Rob Hanover. So there's a lot of indicators that would make me believe that we may be able to get Soul Brother. And again, who knows? All this stuff, none of this matters. Me talking, these videos, none of it matters, because next year is all that matters. We're trying to assemble a group of horses that are going to train down, stay healthy, stay sound, get to the races, draw good, get good drives, and hopefully, you know, we'll derive a lot of fun and enjoyment from that. So nobody knows. It's wonderful to you know, break down everything and have all the analytics for everything. All I can tell you is this is a really good looking colt. I like everything about him. He's in day 3. He is a single jurisdiction horse. He is a first crop sire, and he is the type of horse that we usually end up with, and I'd love to end up with Soul Brother. Number 498, a Poppy Rob Hanover colt, selling here at View Car on day number 3. Walk him down for me. Thanks. Good looking colt. So 535. very middle of the catalog, and you're going to see a lot of horses that I believe anyway might fall through the cracks, so to speak. Maybe that's just me, but we look for horses that I thought looked interesting. One, how do they look? And two, does their pedigree match up? Maybe their pedigree's a little weaker. Is there a reason that we might find value with this horse? And at the time, we still were working with the premise that the green shoes were all going to be discounted, and they may be, but I'm not so certain now. So when I look at 535, I see a dual eligible green shoe filly, February 26th. It's got a family that I know a lot of. We're obviously down in the third dam, you have Charmed Life. We had a number of horses out of that line ourselves. Awesome Dabbers in the second, more of an overnight racehorse, but took a mark of 53-4. And then I see this Yo Tater, that's Verlin Yoder's horse, on the front end. This filly's toed out just a hair. But it had a really, really nice video and a really nice body type. These are the types of horses that make up the middle of the stable, right? If we're gonna look at the sale, as we look at our barn, this would be hopefully one of the foot soldiers and one of the better ones. So if we can find horses that are gonna do what we need them to do, with a lot of value on day number 2, 3, 4, you're not gonna find a lot of value on day number 1. We're gonna try our hardest, but it's a very hard thing to do. But we need to, if we can find value in horses like this throughout the sale, then so be it. I have a number written for Divine Thing. I have a number written down for this filly. And if it happens to go well below it, then this is absolutely a horse that you could see coming home with us to thestable.ca. So number 535, Divine Thing, February dual eligible, Pennsylvania and Kentucky green shoe filly, selling on day 3. Ready? 542 is a really hot looking green shoe filly. Oh, she's been wild out here doing burnouts on the other side of the ring. First foal from a DeGermbro sister to Next Level Stuff, Take All Comers. It's a really, really nice family. I like this family a lot. And I like this filly. There's a name I haven't seen in forever, Dowena, way, way down on the bottom. So a single jurisdiction filly. She is a March 14th filly, first foal from a DeGermbro mare. I don't know what's going to take place with the green shoes, but I really want this filly. I like her a lot. I like her fire. Cam better not get too close to her. He's not going to like her very much either. So All Over is a horse that I really like. There's maybe 2 or 3 horses in the sale. Listen, we've looked at hundreds that I like, but a few that I think I really want. One that I really, really want on day number 2, and this filly here would be just fine with me on day number 3. All Over, selling on day number 3 here in Kentucky. You can walk her down if you want. Good luck with that. Oh yeah, I want that one. Been a stud?
No, Bruner side. Or sorry, young.
Yeah, but he's older. DeGermbro's older. I like the propulsions, the ones I've seen. I like them. They look nice. This guy, number 564, Proposing to Beauty. A good-looking horse, a little pigeon-toed, a little toed in, but he's got a very, very good body on him. I'm certainly not concerned about that right here. This is a first foal from a Donato Hanover. That's likely where that comes from. A Donato Hanover sister to Beautiful Sin and Robertson. Like this family. Really, really like this family. And this is a good-looking horse. Now you can see, just let him walk him ahead one step, and you're going to see what I mean. You can see he's toed in a little bit. You walk him up just one step. There you go. Now have a look at him, Cam. You can see the difference when a horse is standing there. I'll have him pull him up one step again. Pull him up one more step, bud, will you? There. it's harder to see there when they have them squared up, but at the same token, you can tell he is towed in a little bit. Doesn't really bother me that much with trotters. I do want to look at his video again. If they're paddling out kind of wildly, it's not something that would be overly pleasing to me. But when you look at this family, look at this horse, if his video looks as good as I assume it does, then he'd be a horse we would be interested in. So he is just New Jersey eligible, so no dual eligibility with this guy. So again, another way you could look at, you look at it two ways. It's unfortunate he's not Kentucky eligible, but in the same sense, it is going to draw a little more value to the horse in the sense that he's going to be penalized a little bit financially. I think most of the horses that are anything in Kentucky will draw a little more financial weight, I believe, this year, even than in the past. Kentucky is really, really hot right now. And I think being anything and not New Jersey is going to cost you a tiny bit. So I'm looking at value when I'm looking at number 564, Proposing to Beauty. He's a good-looking horse. His conformation is not perfect, but certainly nothing to be that I'm very, very concerned about. So he's a propulsion, February 22nd colt, New Jersey eligible only. First foal from a Donato Hanover mare who is a sister to Beautiful Sin and Robertson. I like this guy. Gonna need some value, but I like this guy. Yep, can you walk him for me, please? I like him. We can get him cheap enough.
They're like really. There's been horses towed out way worse than that thing.
Towed in.
No, out.
No, he's in. He's pigeon-toed, towed in.
Oh, I thought you said.
Ready? This is number 580, Dazzling Shoes, a green shoe filly. Again, I had made this list again when I thought that we were going to have some bargains here with the green shoes, and we may. I don't know. But I see a lot of people pulling them out and a lot of people saying the same things. This is a really, really good-looking filly here out of a Broadway Hall mare. January 30th filly, and again, it is important. Single jurisdiction, no dual jurisdictions with this one right here. Let me see, January 30th, Pennsylvania, green shoe filly out of a Broadway Hall mare, and then you look on the second dam, you had Fashion Chocolate. A good family. This is a good, strong family of horses. I'm not familiar with this horse. Trotting Horse of the Year, third dam is a Trotting Filly of the Year, 1991. Wow. But again, we talk about the catalogs, we can talk about the pedigrees, all you want. Still got to race the horses, and this is one sharp-looking filly right here. A daughter of Green Shoe, selling on day number 3 here in Lexington. Can you walk her down for me? I like this one too. Let's see her video.
All right, we continue on with today's coverage ahead of day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. Getting a closer look at some of the potential prospects for thestable.ca coming up here this afternoon. As mentioned, Jamie's very busy today. She's got another special guest standing by as we made the trek all the way to the back to check in with Anvil and Lace.
Welcome to Anvil and Lace. I'm here with the owner of the farm, Elizabeth Yance. And how has your week been so far? I know we're about almost halfway through.
Good so far. Can't complain at all.
It's beautiful weather here. And Anthony, we just saw the one he bought from you guys last night. Absolutely beautiful horse.
He's a stunning colt. He really is.
Let's talk about after someone purchases a horse. What happens then?
Well, they normally stay here for at least overnight. We care for them throughout the night, and it depends on sometimes they'll ask me to take them back to my own farm until they can ship to wherever they train, Florida, Ohio, New York, wherever. Others, I don't really know because they just pick them up out of the stall and they go. But they're here at least overnight, and we care for them throughout the night, and then they go on to wherever they need to.
And how many horses do you have at the Lexington sale this year?
We consigned a total of 66 this year, so our biggest consignment so far.
Well, congratulations on the 66 here and the ones that have sold already so far. And good luck for the rest of the week. Thank you for joining us here.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Back here on the desk, Mark McKelvey with you at Fasig-Tipton, day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. We'll have a few more special guests dropping by in just a little bit as we get to the top of the hour. From noon to 1, we'll continue here with some live coverage. I was talking with Anthony there a few moments ago, right off the top of the show. We were talking about some of the horses that, or I should say some of the stallions that have certainly been popular, and of course Chimpanzee. Anthony was mentioning that average sitting right around 200,000. So if you do look at some of the totals here, Chapter 7 is leading the way when it comes to cumulative. That's all dollars that his offspring have sold for at $6.9 million. The average price for a Chapter 7, $150,000. So that's from 46 horses sold. You look at Chimpanzee, for example, 17 of them sold, average is 198. Continuing over on the pacing side of things, Captain Treacherous has been the leading stallion, and of course we talked a lot yesterday about the stable's purchase of Captain Incredible back on night number 1. Captain Treacherous has had 36 sell, 139,000 is the average price there. Leading the way on the pacing side when it does come to average has been Betters, or I should say Captain Treacherous. And then you look at Tall Dark Stranger, his first crop. They are selling here. 41 of them have passed through the ring, and they're bringing an average price of $118,000. For those back in Ontario, Better's Delights, they're always certainly very popular and just continues to turn out the winners despite certainly getting up there in age, just like a fine wine has been Better's Delight. $128,000 has been the average price. 17 have sold through 2 days. Now, if you look in the catalog as we get later into the week, especially when you get to day number 5, Ohio figures very prominently. In fact, we were talking yesterday throughout the afternoon here at the sale, just that maybe it was a little quieter here on day number 2 compared to night 1 where it was absolutely rammed. It actually gets busier as the week goes along. You have to think there are some buyers that come into the market for the last few days thinking maybe that's going to be a little more in their price range. But day number 2 was a record yesterday for a second day of the sale. It eclipsed last year's mark. So a lot of dollars certainly flying around. The stable certainly hopes to be active here today to bring in a few more horses. We'll wait and see how the day does unfold. Anthony is he has moved around somewhere here, going to continue to look at yearlings. And while he is out there, we're going to recruit a few more guests to come by and drop by and chat for a little bit. But before we get to our next special guest, let's take a look at a few more of the yearlings selling today.
Energetic Julio is a Chimpanzee Kentucky eligible colt, May 31st foal. Wow. It's hard to gauge the chimpanzees when it comes to them being a May 31st foal because they don't make big horses. This guy's got a little scar on his left hind leg and his hock. Clearly doesn't bother him, and it's just superficial. A nice video and a really good looking family here. Both the 2-year-old and the 3-year-old now, I believe, have taken marks. The 2-year-old raced in the Keystone Classic 2 weeks ago against us, I believe also. So Energetic Julio, the horses are 100% getting to the track, I believe. Let me check here where I say that. Yeah, 2 previous foals. Both have made it to the track. Both are racing. Second dam, Take My Picture, Royal Assets. Third dam, Civil Action and Muscle Bound. This is a good family. It's a good family and a good looking colt. He's far enough back in the sale. Are we going to be able to scoop something like Energetic Julio up? I don't know. Man, they all look the same, the chimpanzees, for the most part. They look, I said to somebody yesterday, yeah, they look like Chapter 7s. Well, I guess that's because he is a Chapter 7. So that's where you get maybe that more stout look to them. But man, this is a good looking colt. I like Energetic Julio, day number 3, selling at $581 out of Peninsula. What's that? Yeah, May 31st, that's what I said, yeah. Can you walk him for me, sir? You're a pretty guy, eh? I like him. Get that scar on his left hind leg. It's nothing though. Must have hung up the fence or something.
Probably trailer.
Could have been. Well, it looks a little older than trailer. That looks like a scar. Let's see his video. Number 591, Party Night, late day 3. Again, this is a horse that fits us. Single jurisdiction is going to be discounted a little bit. This is just the way it is. The climate of Kentucky is dual eligible horses get rewarded a little bit more. This is a single eligibility horse, which is fine. There's more than enough racing in Pennsylvania for any of these horses. And Kentucky sounds great, but it's tough down here too, right? It's not like, it's not Kentucky, so it's not worth getting the horse. I like when people say that. It just means that we might be able to find value in one singular jurisdiction. So Pennsylvania is still very, very strong. And this is a very, very good-looking filly. A May 2nd filly, too. Very big for a May 2nd filly. Out of an SJ's Caviar mare. Matter of fact, is in the first dam, made $110,000, exported internationally. You have Winky Dink in the second dam. It didn't make a ton of money. It was a decent horse. And a lot of these horses took 2-year-old marks, which is important. And then you look down in the third dam, that's where all the anchor is, all the foundation is of this. Winky's Gill, Winky's Goal, Super Gill, all these nice horses are down here in the third. So you got a good family, a great looking filly, and you have that single jurisdiction, which you're going to be able to find value with, I believe. This horse here is a really, really interesting proposition and a horse that I'm going to be watching very closely. Number 591, Party Night, selling on day number 3 here in Lexington, Kentucky. Can you walk her down for me too, Mark, please? That one there will fit in the shopping bag easy too. That's a nice filly right there. The one thing everybody has to understand is, unfortunately, dual eligibilities do get rewarded here. Yeah. This is a single, and there might be a little value here found in her.
She's not Kentucky eligible?
No, these ones aren't. They're just Pennsylvania.
Is that because it's bar hopping?
No, that's because it's view car. Yeah. 805, day 4. Number 805, King of Green. Now, I've seen a number of green shoes. This is a good-looking colt way at the back of the sale. I guess day 4, it's got to be towards the end of day 4. And I don't know anything from this front dam. Oh. So, 620. Geez, I can't believe this guy's way back in the sale. This is an enormous animal. This is Kettle One Up, and he is a tactical landing giant. He is a half-brother to Kildare King, who's a very, very good horse in Ohio and has been a good horse, made over $400,000. See if there's an update here. Yeah, now he's got $522,000 made. A very nice horse in his own regard. The second dam is a dam of Ken Workington, Holiday Road. So the same family actually is horn player in those horses. That's exactly who it is. So Kettle One Up, he's got a giant splint. Now, I'll tell you a little something. Usually the splints on horses up front come from conformation, especially the heavy ones. You'll see splints on the inside of the horses, maybe with offset knees, or maybe they're a little back in their knees. But this guy doesn't look too bad, to be honest. I mean, the giant right splint in his right front, it's hard to tell, but he's got 2 gigantic splints up front. But at the same token, I don't think they'll ever bother him. Man, he's a good-looking colt. Can you walk him for me without getting killed? That's the other thing. He is a lunatic. Big boy. Oh yeah, it's pretty hard not to like him. I'm surprised he's way back at 620.
I guess most people might.
It's kind kind of an argument for people that don't.
All right, and welcome back. We're right at noon hour here in Lexington, ahead of day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. The session's going to get underway at 1 p.m. here this afternoon. That'll be the same start time tomorrow before the sale wraps up Friday night at 7 p.m. Told you we'd have another special guest. Steve Palermo joins us now. And Steve, last year, we had a good opportunity to catch up at both sales, Lexington and Harrisburg. Here we are once again at Lexington. And overall, how's your experience been? We'll do a deeper dive, but just in general, how's your experience been this year?
Oh, this is fabulous. I actually brought my wife down for the first time for her first experience in Kentucky. She's loving it. She's spawning it. She's having a great time. The weather's been ridiculously perfect. If this isn't 10, there's no such thing as a 10. So, I haven't had a whole lot of success yet in the bidding department other than high-fiving Anthony when he buys one. But it's a fantastic, I mean, today's the day for me.
Well, you've been kind of sitting there beside Anthony through the first couple of sessions, and obviously, very active, clearly. Do you sense any, his attitude a little different, his demeanor from past years?
Oh, there's no question about it. You can see it. I mean, I've been there for 5 or 6, or maybe even longer years now, and you've noticed the progression ever so slowly of what he's looking at and how he goes about it. I mean, for him to only have 6, is kind of showing that he's looking at quality rather than just straight quantity. And I'm sure the quantity will end up there at some point, but he's buying. Everything he's bought has been a really super individual horse.
Well, he certainly threw your name out there today when he was talking about his purchases from yesterday.
Yeah.
Giving you a lot of the credit there for 171 Westland Warrior, but it is a bit of a team effort. I mean, you've looked at a ton of yearlings all week long, so he will obviously look to you at times just, hey, what have you seen there? What did you see there on Westland Warrior?
Well, I mean, I just saw a nice, nice, well put together horse. I was looking at colts as well. I mean, I usually look at fillies, but I was looking at some colts. It was Sunday. I looked at him, and I was kind of out by myself because he's doing videos and stuff like that. So I just kind of go out by myself and do some, horse looking. And I marked him up, and I said he's kind of standing pretty square, and he's good looking, sized horse. And I liked everything about him really, and I circled him up, and and then. He was probably not at the top of my list of a colt because I was kind of waiting around for a filly that was coming up. So, so I just was kind of sitting there, and I'm like seeing him kind of wavering in the 35 neighborhood, and I kind of went, "Ants, did you look at this thing?" He's like, "No." But I saw he had good video written on his iPad. So I said, he says, "Did you?" And I said, "Yeah, he's a good looking horse." And you saw with your own eyes, and I said, absolutely. I mean, he got, he took him. But so I'll definitely get in on him. There's no question about it. But I was, shocked that he just kind of took my word for it. But I mean, I'm glad he did. But I mean, I'm just,
Well, it's that mutual respect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he values you. So that certainly is nice when you can have those people to rely on. And to your point, I think in the past, those were the kind of horses, maybe not that one necessarily, but Anthony would just kind of be waiting. Kind of wait and see, oh, this one's a little slow.
Right.
Oh, there's not too many knocks on this horse, let's take it. But
Yeah.
you are right, being a little more selective this year, there's no doubt about it.
Right.
What about the trotting fillies? I know that's what you're ideally looking for here. Did you come with a certain kind of a group in mind, or was this more of let's see as many as we can?
Well, I mean, I think I have 79 trotting fillies on my list overall. And there wouldn't have been, I don't know, a handful on day one because I just know I can't afford them.
Right.
And then yesterday I had 20 some odd, and wasn't very lucky there. I bid on a couple, but they fell out of my grasp. And then today I have like 39. Like today seems to be the day that I've kind of like locked in on, where I have got the most chance to get what I'm looking for.
What about some of the stallions that you've kind of had in mind, or has it been kind of all over the board, kind of looking at everything?
No. I mean, listen, I generally hang out Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Kentucky eligible,
right?
If you can. However, that does tend to make them pricey. But yeah, Pennsylvania. So like I'm looking at the Father Patrick's and the Green Shoes, and the international monies, but they haven't shown up yet. They're coming today, and you know, in the New Jersey, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I love tactical landings. I mean, I do, but they're harder and harder and harder and harder. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much those two jurisdictions.
But it's amazing how results obviously speak volumes. Like a tactical landing here, there was opportunities for the past couple of years, and now here this year with the season he's had, you're right, those horses are certainly bringing a good penny.
Right. Actually, I'm going to be, looks like I'm breeding a mare to tactical landing this coming spring, and it's actually the full sister to the dam of Tactical Approach.
So there you go.
So here's
Not
hoping.
bad. That's
Yes.
some good hope right
Yeah.
there. That's one of those that you'd look at the page and
Yeah.
that will catch your eye. Before we let you get out of here, talk about just the season overall for yourself individually. I know, obviously, have a relationship with Anthony and others as well. Just for yourself, how's 2023 been?
2023, I mean, for me personally, 2023 is hard to compare to 2022. Like 2022, I had, Crantini and Spitfire and Una Madonna and a few others with Anthony, and I did pretty well on my own with others. This year's been good. I mean, I have a piece of Pickpocket, and that was exciting. I was sitting in my office, literally screaming at my monitor and people are coming into my office like, "What's wrong?" So that's been great. Because I think I talked to Anthony the other day or a couple of weeks ago about, "You're having a pretty good year," and he says, "Yeah, we're doing pretty good. It'd be nice to have a Grand Circuit win." Okay. And then bang,
Happens.
Right? So yeah, I was super excited for him.
That was great, and that was a pretty good moment. And I said it to Anthony as well. It's one thing to come down to the sales here and be active, but then to also be doing it on the racing side at the same time.
Yeah.
That certainly catches people's attention.
Yeah. So my wife and I will definitely go to the Red Mile on Friday for Pickpocket for sure.
Well, wishing you the best of luck. Appreciate you taking some time to join us. And sounds like it's going to be a lengthy sales session today, but one that you're certainly going to be really locked in on.
Yes, it will be a long one. Yeah.
All right, Steve Palermo, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We're going to go to another interview. Jamie is standing by with Paige Logard.
Welcome to day 3 at Kentuckiana Farms. Paige Lockhart joins me here, and she's kind of one of the handlers here, gets everybody's horses ready and organized. But before we get into what you do a little bit here with Kentuckiana, tell us, you're in school and you're hooked up here with the farms, just how that works with you.
Hi, so I am a current student at Georgetown College as well as part of Kappa Delta sorority of the Beta Lambda chapter. I get here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and today I'll stay till about 11, go to class, get some lunch, and then come back here and work. Basically, all I do is I meet clients at the top of the barn, and they ask me what horses they would like to see, and then I go tell the people that get them ready so that they'll be ready to go for them and make it a super quick process.
And your sorority has been linked up with Kentuckiana Farms for over 30 years.
Yes, that is correct. Mrs. Brady has been wonderful to us. We love working with her. Today we'll have some of our alumni join us from our chapter, which is really sweet of them to come help us. As right now we have kind of a smaller chapter than like the University of Kentucky, which is so close. So it's good that they're willing to come help us too.
And are you having fun here?
Oh, yes. I love this job. I think the horses are so beautiful, and everybody has a smile on their face, and they care about everything. They ask you how your day was. It's a wonderful environment.
We were talking off camera earlier about the cost of some of these horses, and it's just astronomical.
Yes. Some of these horses, it's so bizarre to me that they sell for this much. That's to a college girl that's super broke right now, that is like a fortune to me.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Paige, for joining us and taking time out of your day. Have fun at class a little bit later, and I'm sure we'll see you later on.
Thank you so much.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. Thestable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
So, geez, I don't know. I think this is still day 2. Tuck Tuck, a great name. Tuck Tuck is number 387. This is a New Jersey and Kentucky colt, April 18th. This is a brother to Handover Bell, $564,000 winner. Took a 2-year-old mark at 56, a 3-year-old mark at 52, and after that 51 and 1. Really nice horse. I'll be honest, the pedigree after that particular mare kind of slows down a little bit, but again, we're looking at this horse also. And when it comes to Tuck Tuck, really nice video on this guy. I like the way he moves, long legs, got that tactical landing, big, long, and tall body. Just a beautiful looking colt here. So Tuck Tuck, way at the, I think it is day number 2. I'm not positive though. I probably should know that. Either way, at the end of day number 2 or at the start of day number 3, Tuck Tuck will be a horse we'll be watching. Not a horse that I have a real high figure on, but a horse that will fit nicely in our barn. I like the way he's built, I like the way he looks, and of course his pedigree. I know I'll give you the old saying that I always look at. Well, if you took Handover Bell out, there wouldn't be a lot there, but you can't do that. Handover Bell is there, and as I said a minute ago, we're looking at 387. Not Handover Bell or any of the other horses in the pedigree. So a nice horse, fits what we're looking for, fits our mold, so to speak. So we'll see if we can bring Tuck Tuck home to the stable with us. Can you just walk him down a little bit?
57.
Fiery little bugger too. Hey, bud. That's great, thank you. So number 410, we're here at Concord. Number 410 is New Jersey only filly by Tactical Landing out of Jezzy's Legacy. Herself made $165,000, mark of 154. But Jezzy, the second dam, made $834,000. Very, very nice filly and a very nice family. She's not a giant filly. I'm not going to say she's small. She'd be a medium-sized filly. Got a sharp head on her. I really like this filly. This was the one I came to the Concord consignment to look at. Certainly not disappointed. I like her demeanor. I like her attitude. I like the way she's built. Can you walk her down for me, sir? Can you walk her down for me, sir? Thank you. So number 410, Flight Stewardess. Good looking filly here. Thank you very much. So this is number 414, Cowboy Casanova. This horse Amy actually liked and picked out. Man, she did a good job too. This is a good looking colt. I know when I looked at the pedigree, I said propulsion. I don't know how they're going to sell. I suspect they're going to sell pretty strong, but no one knows for sure. This mother, this is the first colt out of this mare. It looks like she had a tactical landing filly last year. So this is the first colt from the mare Hannah Dream Girl, a $213,000 winner, trotted in 53 and 2 in her life. So pretty good filly. Second dam's a little soft, and third dam is Ancient, Ship's Dream, Buttafuoco, Ship's Pinnacle, Ship's Winner. They're all old horses, but at the same token, they're just indicators of what we're looking at. I mean, when I look at 414, here's a very well-bred, dual-eligible colt. March 1st, dual-eligible colt with a nice video. I like this colt. He looks nice. He does everything right, everything we need him to do. And one of those horses where you don't know, right? We are going to have some high-end horses that we buy, and we're going to have other horses that are going to make up the puzzle of the stable Lexington this year. And this could easily be one of those horses. So I like number 414. I think he's a nice colt. I think he'll do what we need him to do if we happen to buy him. So number 414, Cowboy Casanova, here at Crawford Farms. What's that, honey? Yeah, they do look small. Why is my internet not working? Oh, here it is. So this is number 438, day 3, Propulsion Colt. This is a good-looking horse, Kentucky, New Jersey eligible. I liked a lot of the propulsions we saw. In fact, I don't think I discounted any of them or just wiped them off. I think I had a real good look at all of them, and I really like this horse. He has a brother named Sir Fred Jones, a green shoe that raced against, must have raced against Memory and Imagination this summer. I know the name, and I know we raced against him. This horse here, again, one of those pedigrees that is strong. I don't know a lot of them, but there's a lot of money and a lot of speed in this pedigree. I just don't know a lot of the horses. They're not brand name world champion types. But again, all seem to make money, all seem to have speed. And this is a good-looking colt. I liked his video a lot. And I really thought he was a good-looking individual also as we came here and saw them. I like how they're put together, the propulsions. They all look, yeah, he's a little more streamlined, not as coarse as the other ones were. And I just thought he was a really good-looking individual. Here's a horse buried in the middle of day 3. Good-looking horse, decent pedigree, first crop sire. This horse has stable written all over it, so we'll see. We'll see if we pick up a horse like Channing or Channing himself. But number 438, the February 22nd Sun and Propulsion, good-looking horse here in Channing. Can you walk him down for me, sir? Yep. What's that?
All the horses' feet are really trim.
Yep. Yeah, I really like this guy. So this is day 3, Majuri, number 450. Now, a lot of updates on this horse, obviously, and unless you're living under a rock, you probably know who Carl is. This would be out of a sister to the mother of Carl. So, no, yes. Out of a sister to the mother of Carl, yes. So a Bay filly, March 2nd, Pennsylvania and Kentucky eligible by Father Patrick. A big filly. Good looking filly though, well put together. And you see Ava Catherine is the first one. This a Muscle Hill mare that, you know, her biggest claim to fame is she's a sister to Ava Licious. Now Ava Licious is the mother of Carl. Now Carl's not even on the catalog because when they made the catalog he only had about 10,000 made. He's since winning 51 and I think he's up over $300,000 or $400,000 now and undefeated in his 2-year-old career here in Lexington. So one of the biggest updates in the entire catalog will be that Carl, anything to do with Carl, and Majuri definitely has lots to do with Carl. So a lot of interest will be found, especially as this is a filly. A lot of interest will be found here in number 450, a day 3 horse. Not a giant, not a big filly, but she's going to take a lot of eyeballs and probably plenty of support as we head into that part of the sale. There's a number of horses selling on day 3 that look very well, and this is just another one of them. Majuri is a horse that definitely worth looking at as we head into the middle portion of the Lexington sale here in Kentucky. Can you walk her down for me, sir? She's okay, yeah. She can bring a lot of money.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, even so, I know. So that's
Carl
her
is missing.
brother?
Yeah, Carl is missing from the second lamb. Yeah. What's that? Oh. 4:58. It's getting late in the day here. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday. Sale starts tonight. This will be our last horse to look at back here at the barns today. Number 458, Rose Run Atlanta. I loved the video of this horse. I wanted to come see her. She is Pennsylvania and Kentucky eligible. Out of a Lucky Chucky mare. We've had a lot of luck buying lucky horses at a Lucky Chucky mares. And then the second dam is at Mambo Lindy, Bacardi Lindy. Down on the third dam, Margarita Man. Just really, really good family top to bottom. But again, I say this all for the last 2 days. We're not racing the families. We're not racing the pages or the videos. We're racing the horse. This horse got a real cool demeanor, quiet. You know, these horses have been drug all over the place the last 2 days, and this horse is pretty chill. Pretty nice looking horse. In international money, February 12th, full. I really, really like this horse too. I like everything about this horse. There's no faults, right? I like the mare. I like the entire pedigree page, and I like the horse even more than all of them. It's a really nice looking horse. 458 Rose Run Atlanta, selling on day number 3 here in Lexington, Kentucky.
All right, welcome back to Fasig-Tipton as we get set for day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. And we got another special guest joining us. To my right is Filippo Sanandrea. And Filippo, thanks so much for taking some time to join us. Just kind of got introduced here, but you guys come from Italy over here to Lexington this season, not only just to look at horses, but also to sell. You told me that you guys sold one yesterday. But this isn't your first time to Lexington, but you guys are getting more active here now.
Yeah, we're trying to be here more often. We have a standardbred breeding farm in Italy, close to Milan. We have roughly 30 broodmares, and since 3 years we're coming here, and we started to sell our horses here at the sale. All the horses that we sell are coming from Italy. We usually ship them here around April, May, June. And yes, we sold Ghostbuster yesterday, and we were happy. We brought 150,000. He's gonna go at Melander, so it's nice that he's going there. And we started also to buy fillies coming here. We have now a filly racing, which is Warwi Michelle, that she's doing great, and we're very happy. Our horses are at Aki, Svanstead, and yeah, that's a little bit of our story.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Warmi Michelle just one last weekend here at the Red Mile in the Bluegrass. That had to be a fun experience to be here.
Yeah, it was nice. It was our first win at the Red Mile, so it was exciting.
So looking at, you were just talking a bit about how you guys operate with at least the horses that you send here to America to sell. They come back in the spring. They went to Diamond Creek, and you were telling me you spent some time at Diamond Creek last year.
Yes, correct. I worked there for 8 months. I started with yearling prep, and then I was supposed to stay there till December after yearling prep, but then I decided to extend my stay to do also a bit of stallions and foalings. It was a good experience to learn that. I brought back to Italy and tried to copy a little bit what they were doing here.
Is there much difference between how things work in Italy and here?
There is, but because of the number of horses, here numbers are much greater than the ones that we have at home. So there we're able to do some things better, but here they do maybe other things better that we're not able to do there. So it was nice to compare the two things and see differences. And another thing that I did is working with the stallions, which in Italy we don't have stallions at our farm, but we board them at other farms. So it was nice also to practice that and be able to do that as well.
So you mentioned 30 broodmares you guys
Yes.
have around there. How many were you selling this year? Because also, how does it work over there? Yearling sales, are they just
So
as
we have
important?
yearling sale in September. We had the yearling sale 1 week before coming here, and they went well. The market is strong for the good horses, while a little bit weaker for the medium, low quality horses. And yes, we sold 13 yearlings. We probably have roughly from the 50 to 20 yearlings every year that we sell there. And what we do is that the best ones, we try to bring them over here and sell them here. It's a little bit tricky because the horses have to be perfect. They have to have the right staking. So it's not easy, but we're trying to improve year by year.
You guys are getting more into this market here, but you were telling me that back home, some of the buyers there, some of the trainers, they're a little hesitant sometimes with those
So
American
they're
stallions.
hesitant with the new ones. As I was mentioning to you before, what we do is to buy the shares of the newcomers, let's say. We just bought, for example, the Equity share when the syndicate was made. We have shares in Green Shoe, Tactical Lending, International Money, Father Patrick. And the first years, people, if there's not big wins over here or if they don't know the names, they don't like to buy those. But for example, after Tactical Lending, we had 2 colts selling, and they did great, so it was nice.
So looking ahead for yourself and your family, is this something that you guys are looking to continue expanding here in America? Or
We
you
are
guys happy
trying.
where you're at?
No, we're trying. It's not easy because having the farm in Italy, we always like to have mares there, see them giving birth. So we are trying to set, let's say, a line between the two things.
Right.
Of course, we would like to always stay here and like be more present here. So we're trying to understand and try to keep going year by year.
So you mentioned Oka Svanstead is who you guys have a partnership with here, and that started a few years back.
Yeah, I would say probably 3 years ago. We bought a nice filly on gate, and we didn't know where to put her in train. So we were looking around, and Oka came up, and I spoke with Sarah, his wife, and we find a good contact there. And from the time, we always stayed to them, it's been great because we had 2 years ago Life Itself that had a good career here in Kentucky. This year we have Warrior with Michelle. And we just bought with them yesterday, number 226. And so we have good hopes for the future as well.
Another tactical landing
Yeah,
right
another
there,
tactical
tactical landing filly.
yes.
And that's exclusively what you guys look for is fillies,
Yes,
correct?
fillies, yes. That potentially could be broodmares in the future.
So we were talking before we came on camera a bit about the racing scene over in Italy.
Yes.
It's funny because we probably here just focus on what we have here in North America, but how big is the racing over in Italy? I mean, just even from a spectator point of view, do they draw good crowds?
So good crowds, I would say, are like the US, like same crowds.
Yeah.
Just people that work, I would say. No, we have some fans in big days of racing. There are a lot of fans that go and see the races. I was saying before, we have good money for purses for a lot of 2 years old and 3 years old, but also good purses for the older horses. So the horses that can make the to older, they have also a lot of variety of options. Also outside Italy, for example in France, where there is the Prix-d'Amérique winter and all the winter meeting, or in Sweden in spring where there's the Elite Loppet meeting with all the big races over there. So we have like a big variety between also France and Sweden to where to race, so it's nice.
For your family, it goes back, I assume, multiple generations?
So our farm in Italy started in 1940 from my great-grandfather. And yeah, since then we're breeding. We are probably one of the most historical breeding farms in Italy.
And for yourself, is this something you always wanted to get involved in?
Oh, I've been involved since I was little. Now I'm involved much more than before. I kind of managed together with my father the farm in Italy, and I'm always more involved in the day-to-day operations, and I like it, and it's nice.
It's funny you mentioned about coming over here to kind of see how they do things here.
Mhm.
Have you always kind of been that sort of person that wants to study, wants to learn more?
Of course. I always like to improve on what we do, and coming here was a good occasion to always be better on what we're doing, and yes.
So over here at Lexington, a lot of people travel in. There's people from all over the world.
Yes.
Do many come from Italy for this?
This year we have a couple of friends coming from Italy. They are the breeders of Vivid Wise Ass, who recently won the Yonkers Draw. They brought here 2 yearlings to sell as well. And yeah, they're kind of trying what we're trying to do to sell here the good ones. And there's another breeder which is Biasuzzi. That he's been here since a while, more than us, and he's also selling here and having success here in the U.S.
So you guys mentioned that you got 226 yesterday.
Yes.
Any more on the radar here?
I don't think so.
That'll
we
be
will
it.
see. Any
Yeah.
surprise, but so far probably not.
All right. Well, Filippo, I really appreciate you taking some time here. Just on a personal level for yourself, what are your goals and aspirations for this sport?
So in Italy, I hope that the sport continues, even though there are some difficulties.
Challenges, yeah.
Yes, especially on the purses side. We get paid with 6 months delay, which is not that good.
Right.
While here in the US, the market is flourished, and we hope to move always a bit more here in the US and to keep stable here in the US, but we will see.
How long were you guys visiting here?
Oh, we're gonna go back on Monday.
Okay. Perfect. So you'll be able to stay for the weekend of
Yes.
racing. Wish you the best of luck with Warwick and Michelle. That
Thank you.
Has got
Finger crossed.
Yeah, got a nice victory last week. Has another chance in the International Stallion Stake coming up
Yes.
this weekend. So best of luck. Thanks so much for taking some time.
Thank you
Really
very
nice to
much.
meet you.
Same.
Absolutely. Filippo Sanandrea. We'll be right back with more coverage here from Fasig Tipton.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. Thestable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
And welcome back. Day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale is coming up really soon. Thanks again to Filippo Sanandrea for joining us. Really nice to meet up with him and just learn a little more about how the game certainly works in other parts of the country, or the world I should say, and their experiences over here in Lexington. Somebody who is no stranger to Lexington is Hall of Fame photographer Dave Landry. You've seen his work everywhere. He is the best in the sport, and I know he loves getting down here, not just for the sales, but of course the great racing at the Red mile, and Jamie had an opportunity to catch up with Dave just a few moments ago.
Dave Landry is here with me, owner and photographer of Dave Landry Photography. Thanks for joining us. Tell us kind of what you're here doing at Lexington.
I've been coming to Lexington for a long time, and in the past it was for Canadian Sportsman magazine, and now I'm doing pretty much the same thing for Harness Racing Update, and definitely my favorite place to be this time of year, and covering the sale, covering the great racing at the Red Mile, and it's always been my very favorite place to photograph.
Absolutely. It is beautiful here. The history here is just amazing. Is there any specific photos when you're taking that you're trying to get? Like, of course, the top sellers, do you go back to them and take more photos after they've sold, for 800,000 or something like that?
Not as much as I probably would have in the past. Kind of go with the flow and get what I get. You're kind of more looking for the unique image, and sometimes it's hard to get those when you force them. So sometimes I find just the best thing to do is try and get yourself in a position where you can get it naturally if you can. It's usually better. And the odd time if we really need it and we're skunked, I will do that. But it's always nice to kind of try and prepare to be in a spot to get something unique.
And now you've photographed all over North America. Is there any specific place that kind of comes to the top of your mind that you enjoy going to, just like here in Lexington, but that also has that beautiful kind of picturesque landscape or area?
Oh boy, I've photographed horses. The one year in Norway, the 2007 when I did the Gold Cup and Saucer in PEI. All these places have the special kind of attraction that brings you there and the event. But again, as I say, this is my favorite, and there's been so many things. A lot of memories down here though of the great restaurants, Moneymaker under saddle, just some great and all these great horses that race here. It's just, I guess it's kind of an extension of your summer as well for us Canadians. So to come down here and kind of extend your summer for 2 or 3 weeks is really, really nice. It's almost like therapeutic. It's good for the soul down here.
I kind of feel like we're getting gypped a little bit this year because it's so nice at home right now too.
I've heard that. My wife is telling me it's quite warm, quite nice, but I still like to think it's better to be here.
Is there anywhere photography-wise and horse-wise that you haven't made it to that is kind of on your bucket list?
Wow.
Like Elite Lop or...
That's it. Yeah. You nailed it. You nailed it. Elite Lop would be amazing to, or the French race as well. That would be nice. I think the one year, was it Sandpail, was racing really well, but probably wasn't the best shipper. 211. If that horse probably had been a good shipper and had gone, I probably would have been able to go for a client. That would have been nice.
Yeah, it takes so much out of us to travel, hours and that time, change. So I can't imagine horse-wise how they feel. They must just be confused.
Yeah, no, it's just a great place to be, and yeah, it is tiring. Schedule's pretty heavy duty down here because I'm doing some production work for HRU as well, but I enjoy it.
Now, kind of last question, I'll put you on the spot one more time. Is there a photo that you've taken, obviously we see tons of your photos online, but that has been your favorite over the years that comes to mind first? I know every year you have these insane rainbow photos or the moon photos, just those ones that are just naturally happening. But is there one that kind of sticks out where you're like, this is it?
There's a couple. It's hard to pinpoint one. I've taken so many, both breeds, as you know, over the years. It's really wound down. I'm certainly not shooting as much as I used to, but that doesn't mean I don't enjoy it when I'm photographing. I think of a Moneymaker shot from Montreal, her final race. There was a nice shot I had taken of Jimmy Takter, Wally Hennessy, the caretaker. They're kind of walking away, and it's their last race, and the caretaker's got his arm in the air, and it's just from behind, and you can see the mare's eye. And I don't know, that shot's always been one of my favorites. You know, there's so many. It's hard to explain. It's usually those ones that somebody makes a comment on, that it's in a publication, and then somebody says something that you think, okay, well, maybe I caught something there that was just a little special enough for somebody to say, recognize that photo. And it's harder to do now. I mean, the reality is, you know, from a business standpoint with photography, these phones are getting so good. And hey, you know, so it worked out well for me that I'm at the tail end, because when I retire, all that big heavy equipment, it's gone. I'm getting myself one of these nice phones, and I mean, they'll handle a lot of the photography really well. You probably know, you know, with like even pictures of your family and kids and vacation, why lug all that equipment? And so, but it's still an advantage to have it for the racing, I think. And so, you know, the way the technology's gone and everything, it just kind of timed perfectly for my age and where I'm at. But, you know, I may retire in a few years, who knows? I'm certainly winding down. But I was saying that I like it here so much, I'll probably never retire from Lexington. I'll be coming here when I'm 90.
Yeah, I think that's kind of everyone in the industry coming to Lexington. It's a vacation, it's, you know, to get away and a little bit of fun. Like you said, the food, phenomenal. And we all kind of need to go on detox after we get home.
It's a great experience. This is almost a good way to get somebody into the industry is have a thing where you bring them here.
Yeah.
Because even myself, I find when I'm photographing and you're out there and you're going to the different consignments, one of the things that's so, you know, you start looking at horses yourself and thinking, gee, I really like her. You know, maybe having a little percentage of her would be okay. So, you know, maybe that's the next step for me.
Yeah, there you go. thestable.ca, you know, that fractional ownership group.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, they're excellent. I'm a huge fan of them. So that's a distinct possibility to get back into that.
Well, thank you for taking the time of joining us here, and have fun photographing the rest of the week.
Thanks so much. I will. And just keep hydrated, right?
All right, everybody, and welcome back to Fasig-Tipton, day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. Coming up, this session's going to get underway at 1 p.m. We're about 18 minutes away, but we have another special guest joining us, and that is John Boutenshane. John, thanks so much for taking some time to join us. Might have just been in the, what do they say, the wrong place at the right time. Wrong time. But no, we appreciate you dropping by, and we were just talking before we came on air here just about how the sale's been going for you, kind of what you're looking at. We'll get into that in a second, but overall, 2023 for yourself. See your name popping up everywhere. How do you assess your season so far?
I would say it's been successful in some regard. I mean, you're always disappointed with the ones that don't do what you want. There's been several that have, you know, done better than what we had hoped. Had a nice trotting colt that got qualified, raced in Pennsylvania, raced him his first start, left him in as a homebred, left him in Ohio with Sam Scalacci. The horse was fantastic out there. You know, he won, I think, his first 5 starts. He was 3rd in the final, and he was 4th, maybe his last start up at Delaware there. So he did well. I got a nice Chapter 7 filly. Kind of had a surprise with an EL Titan colt that probably overachieved. And then I've also had some that we paid a little bit of money for last year that they haven't quite got back their purchase price, but they're waiting in the wings. They're in North Carolina with Chris Coyle, and we'll pick them up, and we'll give them another go in the springtime.
For those that maybe aren't familiar with yourself and your operation, but you kind of named it right there, you guys cover a lot of ground, don't you?
Started to. It's been a transition. I mean, I grew up and raced horses predominantly in Northern Illinois, Chicago circuit. And then my son graduated and the racing was going down. Kind of like, I mean, you see Anthony's transplanting himself or moving around and different things. So we ended up on the East Coast and started over almost from square one. And it's just different. Like I had one racing at Freehold, one racing in Lexington, one racing in Hoosier, and it's like I didn't know you could get stretched that far. I kind of feel like Gumby sometimes, but it's a product of the times too. You know, everybody has got to be mobile and take advantage of where they can race and how they can race and what they can do. So,
well, the times have certainly changed. I mean, the days of being in one spot and only have to race at one track, or even just being at the track, those are kind of I guess you could say almost gone by, but for yourself, I mean, just how you've seen the sport continue to develop, the one thing that seems to stand out to me is just the continued evolution of all these sire stake programs. Is it, that you try to key in on a certain spot, or is it just wherever you guys can find value?
Where we can find value and where we've had luck, I think kind of dictates it too. Some people, if I've had luck in New York with trotters, I'm going to look at that, or vice versa. So it's the same as buy-in. Some people want to buy a filly that looks like a filly and won't buy one that looks like a colt. The next person say, man, that filly I had, big massive thing, I don't want one of these little scrawny things. So it kind of becomes what a personal preference is, and at the end of the day, there's 987 horses in here.
Yep.
They're going to all walk out of here with a new home. So somebody likes them, so that changes. And the business, the sire stakes, there isn't really a true grand circuit right now because the sire stakes have trumped, and you got to take advantage of that. And in a way, it makes it easier come staking time. Is we can fill in the holes, and if you got a PA sire, see where there's gaps in their schedule, and you can make enough money. With the dual eligibility, you can pay into New York and Kentucky, New Jersey and Kentucky. You don't really have to spend and chase a lot of money on sire stakes programs because you're good. I mean, you can make enough money just racing in your locality.
So what about this week so far for yourself? Just come here with a bit of a target. You mentioned to me mostly looking for trotters.
Yeah, mostly looking for trotters. The people that own the good filly this year, that are Molina, they've just purchased a farm down here, and they want to get into the breeding aspect of it, and they're only looking at trotters, and they've stepped up and they've bought quite a few really nice well-bred trotting fillies, so that's exciting to have the opportunity to possibly be training some of those for them. And then we're still filling in, the other owners that have been loyal patrons for a long time. Kind of sat on our hands. We brought a knife to a gunfight on Monday. Got a little bit more aggressive. Either our knife got longer or their guns got smaller, I'm not sure. But I picked up a few at the end of the sale last night that I didn't have to pay much for. Both dual eligible, one's Chapter 7 and one tactical landing. So we got a list of horses to look at today, and we'll see what we get. So.
Certainly a long week and a couple long days, there's no doubt about that. But when the season winds down, at least the racing side of things, through the winter, you mentioned it, you head to some different spots where it's a little more comfortable?
Yes, indeed. 23 years of having my own farm and training center in Illinois kind of dictated that I wanted to get out of there. We were lucky enough when the time came that we could make the move. We ended up at Pinsky's in Southern Oaks, north of Orlando, and it's really worked out well for us. It gives us a chance to reset the clock a little bit. I mean, because the summers are a little hectic, and it's kind of nice maybe just to sit on the back porch, eat a hot dog, drink a beer, and look at a sunset. So we look forward to getting down there, and come time to leave down there, we look forward to getting out of there and start racing too. So
I could definitely appreciate that. The older I get, that sounds fantastic to me. How many horses will you have down there in the winter time?
Probably having. I mean, I turned 60 this April before we came up here, and I said, I'm getting a little older, want to do a little bit. My son's 33. I want to turn over. I got a really good girl that works for me, and another married couple. Well, actually, you would be familiar with his sister is Meg Crone Hahn.
Yep.
So her brother and his wife have worked for me for years. Lindsay Ruker's worked with me and my son. They all got their trainer's driver's license. So I kind of like to be able to maybe help them along and step back just a little bit and not be so busy. So one of the barns down there is 32 stalls. If I fill that, okay. 24 to 32 is kind of what I'm looking. And it depends what the owners want to do. If I got I kind of call trainers a little bit, part of my language, horse whores. I mean, we're always looking for that next thing, and we're gonna probably say this is what we want to do, but you can twist my arm to work a little more or try for that next good horse. So
I can understand that. I'm sure it's easy to say, maybe we'll scale back a bit, but if someone comes knocking, hard to turn them down.
It is, until my wife says, what? Did you do that again?
Then you got to answer the real boss.
Oh, yeah, not good.
John, thanks so much for taking some time to join us. Best of luck through the rest of the sale and the racing season, and hopefully we can catch up again down the road.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, John Boutenshane. We'll take a timeout. We come back. We'll wrap things up here on day number 3.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. Thestable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. thestable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. Thestable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
And welcome back to Fasig-Tipton. Day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale will be getting underway in just about 6.5 minutes time. But before we can wrap things up, we were probably saving the best for last. Our latest guest needs no introduction, but I will nonetheless. Jody Jameson. Jody, you got down to Lexington yesterday. How's it going so far?
Awesome. Bought a horse, so mission accomplished.
That was the goal coming down here? What was the goal here?
Well, the goal was to look at some horses and, enjoy some nice weather while we're looking at horses and, maybe buy a horse, but it didn't have to be that way. But we found one that we loved. He's out of a mare that we used to train called Danielle Hall. She trotted 52 as a 2-year-old behind Mission Brief. And so she's had a couple foals that are okay. And, this guy looks good. So we're pretty pumped to get him.
So, let's talk about this year for you. Recently had a big victory in the Metro with Captain's Quarters. How have you assessed your 2023?
Just average until
that one?
Until the Metro, but it's been fine. It is what it is, right?
Yep.
If you want to work hard, you can do a lot better, but I don't know, I don't seem to want to work as hard as I used to.
Well, you put in a lot of hard work, and I think you're kind of being modest there. I think you've had a pretty nice season, and as well, just Team Jameson overall's had a nice season.
Yeah, Dad's Barn's had a good year. So we've been working together, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's just good to have a little luck, right?
What's the plans there for the winter then when it comes to these babies? I mean, I'm sure Carl's heading south.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to take them south. So we have 2 right now, so we'll have to see where it goes from here. But yeah, we're hoping he takes them to Florida for sure.
I mean, your career has been outstanding. I mean, winning in the Metro in back-to-back years here. I always look at the young horses in that time of the year, and I'm sure that's just got to be so much fun for you when the babies come out.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's awesome to just see them, get and train them a little bit in Florida with my dad, and then when they get ready to race, just the transitions in them. It's so much fun, and there's no better place to be than right here in Lexington.
No, you're right about that. What I will say, though, before we let you go, when we go back to that Metro victory with Captain's Quarters, you did tell me the day after the elimination, you said, I have the Metro winner here. How did you know? I mean, you guys obviously took it pretty easy coming along with him, but, I mean, you could tell right away he was something special?
Honestly, the first time I sat behind him, I thought he was awesome. I thought he was a killer. Obviously, you don't know for sure, but he just felt so good. He just traveled over the ground and wasn't tired, didn't know where the end of the mile was. And, I was able to race him real conservatively the first 3 starts of his life, and no pressure from the owner or Herb, and just bring him along. And it was honestly on our list, the Metro. Like Herb even said it. He said, I just want to win the Metro. I said, well, I know how to do that.
He's done it 3 times before.
Yeah. And he's just a real nice horse. He's a lovely. You're going to hear from him next year too. He's a great horse.
I'd say
well-bred.
there's no doubt about that. Before I let you go, you talk about how great it is to get down to Lexington. Do you remember the first time you ever came to Lexington?
Jeez.
Did you come to race? Did you come before?
Oh, I come to race, I guess, first. I was thinking the sale, but yeah, I come to race. I raced Yankee Skyscaper. Actually, he was Indigo. I just won the Metro with him, and then he was down here his next start, and it rained and it was really muddy, and they ended up scratching him because the track was so bad. But I came back down and won a bluegrass with him, so that was pretty cool.
I mean, it's a great spot to get to. Sales, racing, it's fantastic. Glad you got a chance to get away for a couple of days.
Yeah, it's been awesome. The weather's been great too, right?
It's incredible. There's no doubt about that.
I guess it's pretty nice at home too, but
I think it's a little nicer here, though.
I think so,
we'll say that. That's where we are. Jody, thanks for taking some time. You said you just keep your eyes open. Maybe you'll be active today, too. You never know.
Oh, you never know. You never know. I got all kinds of money behind me over there.
Looks like it. That table is just loaded with cash. So, anyways, Jody, speaking of loaded with cash, I'll let you go. Get on out of here, and we'll be right back to wrap things up. Anthony will rejoin us in just a minute.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. Thestable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
All right, time to wrap up our coverage today from the Lexington Selected Yearling Sales. Day number 3 is about to get underway. I can hear the voice of Kurt Becker behind me going through the announcements just ahead of the first horse entering the ring. Anthony is back with us. And Anthony, as we get set for this third day, you expect it to be, not necessarily mean you're going to be more active than you were the first couple of days, but you've got a lot of horses in mind for today's session.
My eyes are more active.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. We got obviously the last 2 days, today and yesterday, I was trying to focus on maybe getting a couple of Ontario breds. It didn't come to fruition yesterday. It may today, it may not. We still have London, we still have Harrisburg. And it is all going to be driven by value, so we'll see. But a number of horses I was back looking at, making videos of, horses that I'm interested in today.
All right, well, before I do let you get out of here, because you got to get to your usual position, looking at today's session, it's going to be another long one, but do you expect we will start to really see it drop off a little bit? I mean, yesterday was a record day number 2.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to say this strong.
Well, Carl's sister's selling today.
Right.
There are a number of horses that are gonna prop up the sale today.
Yeah.
There are actually, one might argue, some day 1 horses selling on day 3. So be very interested to see how day 3 plays out. We are going to be looking at a number of horses, and I can assure you Carl's sister's not one of them, but we will be looking at a number of horses to pick up today if we can.
All right, well, Anthony, I'll let you get out of here. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
All right, fun afternoon here coming up at the Lexington Selected Yearly Sale. Hopefully you enjoyed our 2 hours of coverage, a lot of great guests, and we'll have even more when we're back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Enjoy your Wednesday afternoon. You can go to LexingtonSelected.com if you'd like to watch the sale and follow right along. For Anthony, I'm Mark. Have a great afternoon.